Yeah. OVO, for life. That's it. Gang shit.
Welcome back to the Park Car Conversation presents In Depth with Creators. Today is a very exciting day because our guest is the creator. He is the face of pretty much Toronto. He's one of the co-hosts of the biggest Toronto talk show, E-Talk Canada. So you might see him on TV, you might see him on the Park Car Conversation, you might see him in the community because he's a man that does so many different things. And so I just want to introduce, first of all, Tyrone Edwards, also known as T-Rex. Give him a round of applause.
Oh, I like this live studio audience. This is big.
Oh, this is a live audience, baby.
I haven't had a live studio audience in a minute. Well, thanks for. I'm so glad to be here because obviously, I love what you've been doing. So it's dope to actually be here. So big up Jafino one time.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to introduce a few things.
Okay.
Number one being what we're doing today. If you are watching live, you're listening on audio, or if you're here in the audience, we're playing a game called In Depth with Creators. Of course, you guys know the Park Car Conversation, where we tackle very hard to digest conversations. Because let's be honest, like on social media, sometimes all we're digesting is celebrity news, keeping up with people's life and what they're doing. And there's a lot of things that we're doing in our personal lives that some people might not ever get an opportunity to speak about. They might be scared to speak about, right? And so we're giving and creating that space that people can just be open about real life experiences. So that's Park Car Conversation. And In Depth with Creators, of course, as you can imagine, is getting more in depth with the creator because, like I said, Tyrone T-Rex Edwards is on E-Talk Canada. You're going to see him on TV. Millions of people see him every day, and they might see him for his job and for what he does. But we want to know a little bit more about him. Like, can you imagine life if you didn't go in depth? That's the important part. When you know people in depth, all your closest brethren, all your closest friends, you know them more in depth. There's more, level to things that you can relate to. And so that's what this game really is. The In Depth with Creators presented by Park Car Conversation. We're going to get to know you, Tyrone, a little bit more in depth.
All right. Why not? Let's do it.
I'm going to give you a chance just to introduce yourself.
Okay.
This is big people, okay? This is big reporter.
Okay.
I want to give you opportunity to introduce yourself, and then we're going to hop right into the game.
Okay, introduce myself. All right. Well, my name is Tyrone T-Rex Edwards, Mr. One Love, T.O. I am a father.
First.
I am a TV host, anchor of E-Talk. I am a son of God. I'm so proud to be from Toronto. And I'm here today because I rate you. I see greatness in you and what you're doing. I see the worth in what you're doing. Myself, I enjoy having conversations beyond the surface when those opportunities present themselves. And as you said, life sometimes a month, 2 months can go by before you even get a chance to take a breath. So I'm so glad that Drew was able to lead us in a bit of breath work. Breath work is something for me that I've been doing for the last couple of years. Actually, no, it's been a minute now. And I know how it's applicable in every aspect of my life.
Right.
So, yeah, that's me. Southside Jane Street till I die. You heard?
Southside Jane Street till he die. You heard?
Yeah. OVO, for life. That's it. Gang shit.
Oh, we got OVO. We got OVO Rex in the house.
Yeah, let's go.
The new album was fire. If people don't appreciate it, you're not mature yet.
I never heard anybody that don't appreciate it.
Yeah.
You know why? I only hear good things.
You only hear good things, Wiz. I love that. Keep the positive energy. Okay, so we're going to dive right into this game. It's called In Depth with Creators. As you can imagine, I have questions 1 to 82.
What? not a game.
Plus
That's
some
a
bonus questions.
Immigration application. What kind of game is that?
Tyrone.
Sorry.
Just answer
She said
to the-
82 questions.
Just
I'm gonna
answer
get arrested by 47. All right, go ahead.
Answer to the best of your ability. You have the option to pass, but I don't think you will if you
Remain
need to.
silent. It sounds like she's reading me
Remain
my rights.
silent.
Yeah. All right, let's go.
So we're gonna start with Crystal. Choose a number from 182. 20 because it's your birthday.
Happy birthday, Crystal.
All right, so number 20. I love looking at luxury hotels on Instagram. In some details, describe your ideal hotel.
Ideal hotel. Okay. All right, that's easy. Shoot. Ideal hotel is all windows, up high. I want to see water. Big ass bed. Sorry, my bad. I could care less about a TV, ironically. Bluetooth speaker. Ice. Tequila. Candles.
Oh, he's a romantic type.
No, I just like the place to smell good. And the most important part is the bedding. Like, blessed mattress, blessed pillows, blessed duvet. Like if I'm in a hotel, the bedding better be better than what I have at home.
We can appreciate a man that likes a comfy sleep.
Yeah,
Yes.
no, I don't play about that.
All right.
When I do get to sleep, I need to sleep well.
Alyssa, choose a number, 1 to 82. 37. What would you like to tell someone who you once knew who is no longer here?
Like they're not longer here, like they're gone?
You could interpret it however you would like, brother.
Whew, okay, something I want to tell somebody that's no longer here. So whether you're in my life or no longer in my life by choice or not, whether we have a chance to link up again further down the road or not, I would say I hope that you learned something in our time. I hope that love is that sort of theme.
Right.
And all the best. One love.
One love. Can we get a clap for that? Yes, y'all. I think a lot of time, like, when people are no longer here, we're human. It happens to all of us. There's people that we have in our lives that are no longer here, whether it be they're not physically here or just by
Right.
choice. And that's the way I interpret it. That's the way life is supposed to be. Like, nothing is supposed to happen that it's not supposed to happen. Nothing up before God time. So
For
if
sure.
people are not here anymore, like, it doesn't mean that, ex-boyfriends, girlfriends, people who are friends that are no longer friends, it doesn't mean that it has to be a lot of animosity. I wish you the best. If you are good in your life and I'm happy, I wish you're happy also. And simple as that. Right?
It's so important to be able to do that. Especially when I sort of, on second thought, I interpret it as as a loss. And so if you don't have a chance to redo anything, and if you don't have a chance to create new lived experiences and create new memories with someone, you want to hope that the impression that you left with them is that of how you want to be represented. And for me, I want to be like, if you know anything about me, forget what I want you to know. I want you to feel love. Like,
That's
love
it.
to me is love to me is greater than ... So whether it's a loss or you said an ex, or it's like a homie that, you guys just don't mesh, you make that educated decision after some years to
Part ways.
or you grow apart.
Right.
It's all love. It's supposed to be all love.
Just a journey, just
Yeah.
a segment in your time here.
Yeah, so hopefully you took
That's it.
something. Hopefully you took something from that time that we had together.
Absolutely. I love that. Okay, Picasso. All right, you got some clap hands
Thank
over
you,
the
babe.
good answer.
Thanks, darling.
Tiana. She chose the last question.
Oh,
Tiana, that's one of the questions that we cannot ask. It was asked last time. Choose another one. Number 4. The question is number 4. What immature side of yourself, and we all have them, would you like to work on?
Oh,
Mr.
man.
One Love T.O. Rex.
Immature about myself.
Let me find out you're the petty queen. Let me find out.
I used to call myself Petty Wop. Yeah, like Fetty Wap. But no,
No shame, okay? We all have petty
yeah.
sides.
No,
I'll
no
share
doubt,
mine
no doubt.
after.
I'm trying to think like, I think, you said immature.
Damn, this is a long list, y'all.
Immature. What's something about me that's immature?
If there's none, that's okay. You can say that
No,
with your
what do you?
chest.
No, there's no. Come on, of course there is. I guess. I don't
This
know.
is when editing is cool, because then we can put like the dun, dun,
Yeah,
dun,
yeah, yeah,
dun,
yeah.
dun, dun, dun. That's cool.
Immature. I guess maybe. Immature would be like. I think one of the biggest things I think for me that I really tried to work on is like the procrastinating. You know, like I really like as a parent. I can be telling what to do, and as a big homie, I can guide you through what to do, and as your bro, I can give you advice on certain things. But then, even in my own life, there's certain things that obviously I'm not applying myself
Right.
as well as I could, and I think that also that comes from like that the reason why I sort of identify that as immaturity is because most of the times that hesitancy comes from like a fear of like failure. You know, it's like I know I could try this, but if I try this and I look flop, how am I gonna look now? Like I already did this well. So if I go try this and it flops, you know what I mean? So then you start getting in your own head and you forget that you're not relying on your own strength in order to achieve anything anyways.
Right.
So that immaturity of like having a great idea and sleeping on it. Yeah, I wish I could do
Don't wanna
better at that because I still do that.
Okay, I like that. I'm gonna share with you because, like we said, we all have immature
Is that
sides
a good answer?
to us.
I don't know. I feel like that's one of those ones I'm gonna get in the car and be like, that was the answer you gave, Maya? I don't know. Give me the next one because
It'd be like that.
I'm warming up.
I'm gonna share with you. Maybe you can
Okay,
bounce
go.
off my idea. An immature side about me is that a lot of people have patience for me, and me not have patience for nobody. Nothing. Like,
I have too much patience.
yeah, but the type of love that I expect from people or the patience that I expect from people, I don't have the same. And I can identify that it's immature. People are going to take the time to have patience with me for some of my ways. I have to have patience for them. It's something that I'm working on. Identifying it is the first step. Can I get an amen? Amen. Identifying the first step. What you said? He's gonna say something. He said something bright under his breath. I just know it. I didn't even hear you. It was bright. It was bright though.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, we're gonna move on from that question. Chantel, question. 23.
Big numbers though.
What is one of the kindest things anyone has ever done for you?
Most kindest thing that's ever done for me.
You guys can think about these questions as they're being asked. Think about it.
I mean,
And tell that person thank you after this night.
honestly, I truly don't. I truly believe that like, there's no step of my life as a man, as a professional, in any area of my life that doesn't have someone's kindness attached to it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I know, I get
sure,
that.
like by the time you see me go on the screen and I'm doing the show or I'm doing the big interview, there's so many people
Behind it.
behind that.
For sure.
You know, I have this beautiful daughter that's brilliant and like excelling and doing great, but there's a lot of people that have a hand in that. You know what I'm saying? So like, I just feel like the kindness is everywhere. It's flourishing. I can't even tell you the kindest thing that's ever happened to me.
We like that answer. That just shows that there's a man that has a lot of appreciation for life. We like that. Yeah,
I
we'll
don't
give a hand
know.
clap
Like
for that.
it's hard for me to pick. Like there's certain people that are just super consistent with their kindness, Like
Give one person flowers. One person. Give one person flowers. Anyone. There's tons.
it's
I know there's
hard,
tons.
bro. I don't know. Like Future is my secret weapon. You know Future.
The artist?
Future the Prince. You don't know Future?
Mm-hmm.
You don't know. Okay.
I have a 4-year-old. Okay, I'm just
Future's my secret weapon. Like he's like beyond generous to me and kind, and it's not just like it's not something that you can see. It's like, someone that picks up at the right time and someone that could give you the words of encouragement or those words of direction and be like, get your shit together, my guy. Most recently though, I tore my Achilles.
Yes.
I tore my Achilles tendon.
That's why we got the elevator for you.
Thank you. But God is good. I'm healing up. But yeah, and my girlfriend, we weren't living together, but I was marshal, and I'm like, I have to go up and down these stairs. I have to get stuff done, and she literally moved in just to help me, and like, just turned that entire experience into something so beautiful, because I never laughed so much. I swear, everybody's like, oh, you're healing so quickly. I'm like, I swear it's the laughter. Like, I literally have laughed. Like, when you wake up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom quick? We somehow find something to laugh about in that minute. Like, and I'm so grateful for that. So like that kindness, because I completely uprooted her, or she uprooted her life to come and like help me. So that most recently, that's probably one of the most kind things that's happened.
So Future the Prince and wifey. Get you a wifey like Tyrone have a wifey. Get you a wifey. It makes all the difference. Having a strong partner makes all the difference. That is attentive to those things. 100%. So thank you for giving them their flowers.
What about you, Shaw?
Oh, for me, I'm going to give the flowers actually to my sister Jade in the back. Yeah.
But why is her face like that?
Yeah, see, okay.
Why is her face like that? She's like, I want to give flowers to Jade. Jade's like...
Okay, so like Tyrone asked, why is her face like that? Because she stink. Her face love a stink. Her face love her makeup, okay? Me and her, like I said earlier, I literally said this, I can't bullshit this for the camera. She was my arch nemesis growing up. We're 2.5 years apart, 3 grades apart, and she used to tell me, get out of her room. Like, her friends are over, she never liked me. This is one of her childhood friends, Ross in the back, Flips in the back. And Jade me and her really never got along until we went on a trip in 2016, 17. We went to Japan and Korea. And then all of a sudden it was like, well, your money's my money. Like, whoever could pull out the money fast enough. And then we start to realize, like, you couldn't do that with other friends. You would keep tabs. Like, if you go traveling, it'd be like, all right, like, I paid for this. We'll keep a tab on that. But, like, we live in the same house. So where are you going to go? Like, our money is the same money. And I think really what I've come to terms with is that as I grow up and I grow older, a lot of the internal things that I have to work on, it stems from the same place as the things that she has to work on. We come from the same household. You know what I mean? And so she navigates with things differently than I do. But ultimately, like, if I really have a frustrating day, I can crack to Jade and I'm just like, yo, this is. And then she can be my voice of reason. And I mean, I know she's not going to like this. Oh, look at her face. She's not going to like this. But the reason that I got rebaptized in 2021 is because of her. Yeah, by chance. She was like, I'm going to take the car and go somewhere. Yeah, we can give an amen for that.
Amen. For real.
Amen.
For real.
She was just like, I'm going to go get baptized. And I'm like, can I come? She's like, yeah, for sure. And I was like, I was going through a really rough patch. We'll talk about it, we'll talk about it later. But I was going through a really rough patch and I'm like, I actually think, like, can I get baptized? And she's like, who am I to stop God? If you want to get baptized, absolutely. And as much as I live my life and you guys see me do my thing, there's someone in my house who is just like, every time I knock on her door, you just hear gospel music playing or you hear just, like, she's very disciplined. Like on Sunday, she's at church, she's doing her worship, she's doing her fellowship, and her advice to me is very spiritually guided, and I can appreciate that because I'm outside. You know what I mean? And it's nice to have somebody who is very spiritually guided, and so this is one of the only nice things I'll say. And you catch this on camera, just because it's principle, okay? She put me through a rough childhood. I'm gonna say I appreciate my sister, so I'm gonna share my flowers with her.
That's love.
And this is just crazy fun fact. Beside her, like I told you guys earlier, this is my younger sister. We all have the same dad. I met Janelle when I was in.
She has your dad's whole face.
She looks like my dad.
Oh my
Ironic.
God.
She looks like my dad.
Yeah,
I
she
met
does.
Janelle when I was in the 9th grade. She was in the 8th grade. We're a year apart, 2 different moms. I pulled up to her basketball game, and I was just like, yeah, I came to check out the scene, and I'm just proud of who she's become. Like, she came today, and just having both of my sisters here, just like, I'm going to take pictures, I'm going to have your back, just showing up. It doesn't mean that, like, we didn't have to grow up like this. We share the same blood. You know what I mean? I think that's very powerful, and just see the both of them sitting there together, that's pretty cool. So shout out to Dad. That's my answer for that question.
Yeah, I love that.
I love that. Okay.
That's special.
What didn't I ask? Who was next? Sam? Number 6. This is a very powerful question I want all of us to kind of reflect on. How did your parents shape what success and failure meant to you?
How did my parents shape what success and failure meant to me? I just say,
I know. It's loaded.
yeah.
If you have parents like mine, it's loaded.
Yeah,
I love you. Angie and John, I love you. It's
that was
loaded,
tricky.
though.
That's a tricky one. Okay.
I know.
I think when as it pertains to my father, I think there's a lot of. I think as it pertains to my father,
It's a laugh for me.
there's that whole idea of like nature versus nurture, right? So I remember going to visit him. I remember going to visit him not that long ago, like some years ago, anyways, and. Me and him, like I didn't spend a lot of time with him as a child. Like I spent like summers with him.
Right.
Go Jamaica for the summer or whatever. But
He's from Yada.
yeah,
Live in Ayada.
yeah. But it was crazy though because as I became an adult, gained my own independence, and I wasn't really around him like that. And then I went to go check him, and it was trippy because he walks like me. Or I walk like him.
Yeah.
We walk alike.
Yeah.
We talk alike.
Yep.
We have the same sort of food preferences. We don't want no microwave food. Like
All the Jamaicans are laughing by the
we
way.
make all the
Like, you know.
we make all the same like kind of sort of Jamaican version of dad jokes, like kind of corny but kind of witty, but and it was just so much. There was so much of him. I saw myself in him without knowing him. And that scared the shit out of me.
It'd be like that.
That scared me because I was like, I don't really rate you like that. Straight up.
Get it.
I don't really rate you like that. So in my head, I'm like, I guess ultimately I was saying I don't really rate myself. Or I don't know. I don't try to get too crazy with it. But at the end of the day, it just made me be very aware and responsible for my actions and the roles that I play in this life.
Right.
So if I decide to wear a hat, I take that very seriously. And so I think that in that sense, in the idea, the success and failure is subjective. So in terms of how I see it, business, as a father, the things that I do know of him, there's certain things that I do obviously appreciate and admire. He's a very charming man. You can't be that. You can't have. You can't
He's
have 14,
like, you can't have a child.
You can't have
like me.
14 kids. Yeah, you can't. You can't have 14 kids and not be charming. You get me? Well, he's a very intelligent man. But there's certain things from him that I wanted to keep, and there were certain things that, like I said, scared the shit out of me because I was like, nah, I'm not. That's not going to be me. And then for my mother, my father's also very ambitious and all that good stuff too. So as an entrepreneur, but my mother is a hardworking person, and she's okay to work within a structure. She doesn't have to be the lead She's humble. She's always well put together. But she's also like I said, not as ambitious.
Okay.
And kind of
More
fraidy.
nurturing.
Huh?
More nurturing.
No, like not as
Oh.
like for example, like I would want like where we differ and like what I take from her. So it's the same thing. Just like how there's things that I take from my father
Right.
and leave. There's certain things that I take from my mother and leave. And I love my mother with my entire heart. But there's certain things that don't work necessarily for me. I'm always going to. She'll be like, man, relax, man. You're always and I'm like, there's no such thing. Like I'm always gonna continue wanting more and more, and that's fine. Like that's the difference in our personalities. So in terms of success and failure, there's certain things that I've learned from her. Like for example, like at the end of the day, for my mother, if God's not involved, it's a failure anyways. I don't care what you're doing. Your TV
She's
show
Jamaican?
Huh?
She's Jamaican too, right?
Yeah. So like at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what kind of success I have or money I have or whatever I might do.
Mommy, I talk true it. Mommy, I
Yeah,
talk
you know,
true
so
it.
there's certain things that I take from both of them.
Yeah.
And I think that that's when you become an adult, is when you get to a point where you can look at your parents for who they are, not this
Exactly.
imaginary, unrealistic sort of like what you expect them to be or what they should have been or how they should have spoken to you, but accepting them for who they are and taking from them what you can.
Right.
And then also learning, because sometimes one of the best ways to learn is through observation. You can look at somebody and be like, yeah, okay, I see how that worked for you or why that didn't work for you. And you can move accordingly.
Right.
You know, so anyways, that's a long way of saying I take and leave from both.
No.
And that's how I've, sort of created my own idea of what success is.
Absolutely. No, but thank you for sharing that. And I just want to say, because me and Tyrone, like Tyrone knew me before I was a parent myself. And now being a parent, I have had to do some deep looking. I know my sisters are looking me in the back like, she definitely did. I had to do some deep looking within myself because you hold a lot of animosity or like certain things, like your parents are like your first preference of like what man and woman should be. And if you see certain things that you don't like, which we all do, no parents are perfect. I think it's easy to be in the position to, hold the resentment, to say certain things. And now being a parent myself, I've had to take a big back step. A big back step.
Yeah.
Because I am not a perfect parent either. I'm not a perfect person. And my son being 4 years old, like, he's just getting to know me as a person. As much as I'm getting to know him, like, he's getting to know me. Like, this is what mommy likes to do, not likes to do. Mommy's outside, this and this and this and this and this and this. I'm heavy on the this is outside, okay? Hot moms, okay? Hot moms. Shout out to all the hot moms. But it's the same thing. Like, I want my kid to have compassion for me as I navigate through this life. And I'm not perfect. And I think that's the one thing, like, ironically, after all, I could give you a list of all the things that my parents taught me not to do, right? But I think the one thing that my parents have really taught me to do now is to just live life with grace. Because no matter what my parents have done, both of them are kind of just like, it is what it is, but God is good and God is first. Similar to your mom, like it's God, right? And understanding that we are all human. We're going to go through this journey of life and none of us have a perfect journey, right? And so you take that with grace and like appreciate people for who they are, not exactly just even the roles. Like your mom and dad, you're supposed to do this. But as people, who was this, like your mother, who was your father? As people, look at their lives and give them the same kind of grace and mercy that you would give your brethren. Like, some of your friends go through shit and you're just like, oh, like, you're good, man. Like, don't worry about it. Like, it's just a phase you're going through.
Right.
Like, aside from us looking at our parents as parents, like, they're still people to other people, right? They're just humans the same way trying to navigate. So that's something really, I think, powerful that you said. Like, just take your parents for who they are and not for, like, as just parents. Like, they're still humans and individuals themselves. So on that saying, I thought about as you were speaking, Samantha and Peta, this is their dad's heavenly birthday. This is his first heavenly birthday, right? Oh, second. So for the fact that, you guys have showed up today and for the fact that you guys have shared his heavenly birthday with us here, I'm super thankful. And shout out to all the parents, whether you're here or not here, trying your best, struggling a little bit. We've all been there. Me and Tyrone have definitely been there. And so just speak up to all the parents, them. I'm gonna give a hot.
Yeah, no doubt. For sure.
All right, moving on. Only one more question? That's all that we have time for? Oh. Time got fast time flies fast when you're having fun. Okay, I had some questions that I know I wanted to ask.
Yo, what happened to the card, fam?
Really? What time is it? What time are we on? 6:37. Who gave Delhi a tequila shot? Who gave him a tequila shot? Okay, Layla. 55. Ooh, this one deep. Think about this, okay? I didn't even see his face.
Deep. I thought the last one was deep.
How would you like to still grow emotionally? Some people in the room thinking, I don't got to grow at all.
No,
I'll figure it out.
No, okay, so that's not that deep. So my quick answer to that is, in terms of growing emotionally, I made a commitment to myself some years ago to constantly be working on myself. So that means I want to be offering a newer, better version of myself as often as possible. So like more often than iOS offers a new version. You feel me? Like, sometimes you get a new iOS version, it's like, oh, these little bugs were fixed, whatever. I mean, look, if we're not humble enough, if we're not hungry enough, if we don't desire to fix those little bugs, then put it this way, I will not be committed to anyone that doesn't make that commitment to themselves.
You shouldn't, and you shouldn't.
Damn, that's a figure. No, I think it's important, and you know what? I'll be honest with you. I don't care if it's a little fix or if it's a big fix. I'm so happy every time I can. I'm so happy every time I can better myself a little bit. Feels so much better about myself. Yeah.
Good.
And so that's a commitment that I've made to myself. So in terms of growing emotionally, that's every opportunity. That is every single opportunity. That could be a conversation that I had with Travis, and we just now met. That could be a conversation I had with Peter. You know what I'm saying?
Would you say there's a timeline that you've always been like that, or is more like recent?
No. You want to know like when that started for me?
I guess so. Yeah. While we're at it.
Okay, so that started for me. That started for me in about 2016, 2017. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's actually when we went to Trinidad together. Me and Tyrone have traveled together.
Yeah, but all right, okay, but even on that trip, like they
Osh, Papa.
No.
Papa,
I'm about to say, I love to fet. I'm a party guy, but at the same time, I also have that same sort of enthusiasm for that mindfulness and the spirituality and like a good conversation. Yeah. The best thing someone could offer me is a good conversation. Mm-hmm. Give thanks. I could buy my own drink. I could buy my own food. I don't need nobody pay my mortgage. I'm good. The best thing you could offer me is a good conversation. Mm-hmm. So, and me and you, this is what I said, I'm here because I rate you. I'm here because I believe in what you're doing, and I understand the place for it, the value for it, and I have some ideas for us as well. Mm-hmm. So
we're manifesting that. We're manifesting that. You know.
Yeah, no, 100%. But even in the mix, we're getting ready to go. We're getting ready to go to Pops and Fat. I remember we were getting ready to go to Insomnia, and I had my book, and you were like, "Yo, what is that? What are you reading?"
Yes.
And it's a book called A Year of Miracles by Marianne Williamson, and it's just like a little devotional, but it's like a muscle. You know what I'm saying? Like okay, if you haven't done push-ups in a while and you go and do a push-up right now, it's not go nice, right? But But if you do those push-ups every single day, by next week, fam, you're doing 20 no problem.
Facts.
You know what I mean? 40 even, 50 even. You know what I mean? Depending on one and two things. But but what I'm saying is that commitment and that consistency. So even in Trinidad, which is the greatest show on earth, I still have to keep that muscle going. You know? So yeah, so for me, and I think the original question was like emotional growth or the commitment to that. Yeah, there's a huge value in that. You know, that's why I value the breath work. I love like all the breath work I've done, whether it's yoga, this, that. I have a meditation coach that I can FaceTime when I'm on the road, like, you know, and she'll run me through a guided meditation and all that good stuff. But like out of all these different things that have been offered to me in that mindful space, I've never heard like a chill hip hop beat. And trust me, I'm taking that. I'm taking that because like that meant a lot to me because I am hip hop, like that. You know what I mean? So like, how am I not bringing that into something that I place such a value on? So you know, thank you for that. Yeah,
I appreciate that. Ooh. This is what the night is for. I'm not gonna give you my list of emotional growth because there's a long list and we won't have time for that. So Layla Tasha. Lucky number 13. In your ideal school, what would people be taught? Ooh, we like when a crowd.
Yo, let me tell you something. I was about to say I'm joking until you gave me that look. Manners, like manners.
As a thing went on.
Like courtesy, decency, respect, like actual manners. Let me tell you how. Long before Black Lives Matter and they can hear us and they can see us, long before that, I had to navigate a lot of spaces that weren't welcoming. And I was able to do so because I have manners.
True.
I was able to do so because I can listen and respond to what you just said. I was able to do so because I can say thank you and feel and I don't feel like less of a person for it. I can say please. I can say you look great today. I can hold the door open. Manners is so important, and honestly, it scares me because it's so few and far between nowadays. Like the value of manners has gone up because it's so much. It's so less common. Yeah. So if I was going to teach anybody anything, I would teach them manners because it teaches you how to be a good person. And what's more important than being a good person? I'll give you one example. I was on the front lines of all of that stuff after George Floyd died and everything. Right. I had to speak on camera. I also had a day where I didn't do so well. I don't know if you've seen it.
She said the audience said it was great.
Let's not cut to that footage, but you know, and ultimately, what I'm trying to say is, everybody was trying to find answers. Everybody was calling everybody out. At the end of the day, you don't need to know the answers. You don't need to know the fancy words. You don't need to know the latest terminology to use. You need to be a good person. Mm-hmm. If you are a good person, with manners, even if you say the wrong thing, somebody will go, no, I get what you mean. You know that? You ever been talking to somebody and somebody says something and they're like, oh, that's not what I meant. Like, I know what you meant. You know why? Because it's coming from a good place. That's the beautiful thing about communication. You don't have to have 14 syllable words to be heard or to be respected. You have to speak from your heart. I asked Crystal today. Crystal is probably like my oldest friend in here. And I said, jokingly, just before we started this, I'm like, Crystal, what do I say? She said, speak from your heart. But that's it, man. That's it. That's how I live. I show up on set. I show up on my ends. I show up I show up. That's the most important part. Show up and be there with an open heart and an open mind. That's it. You can think I can think I'm coming to teach you something or share with you, but I'm also here to receive as well. And trust me, I've already received a lot from a few conversations that we've had. So that I think that's the most important thing. Open mind, open heart, and manas.
Manas. That's a powerful thing.
Manas will save you in any space. Huh?
My mom always says manners will carry you through the world.
100%.
Manners.
100%.
People always ask me on the list of things like that I would want even a partner, and I literally say the first thing is manners. If somebody has no manners, listen, let me tell you, buddy, come and have good manners. Okay? Yeah. I'm not dealing with it. I'm not teaching you how to. Nope, we're not doing it. And working in the TCDSB, I don't know if you knew, because we were a little bit, COVID. And I was working for the TCDSB right as COVID happened, and seeing some of the kids come into the office for being in trouble, and then seeing their parents come in after. And you just start to realize when their parents, bomba clot this and Ross clot this and this and this. And then you start to realize that manners is actually a learned behavior. It must be taught. And a lot of, it's just an important thing, you don't have to be a biological parent. You could just be a person like we all are in a community that has an influence on the youth, especially that, it's important to stress what you just said. It's important to have manners. It's okay to let your pride down. You always don't have to be the tough person, say like you don't want, listen to nobody. It's okay. You have to listen to that. So I think that's really, really important. Manners is a huge thing that's overlooked a lot. So when I'm having a long day, sometimes mid-interview, it gets tiring. So nothing like a fresh sip of Red Bull.
Yo.
Wasn't that good? That was really. Crystal.
3.
Of course.
Ooh.
You have to know Crystal to know why that number is so special to her.
Guess why I love that number.
Can anybody guess?
You guys met in 3rd grade?
Huh?
No. Look, what does his hairstyle have to do with number 3?
Oh, wait, let me look here. Oh.
And see, as much as she loves Drake, she loves Allen Iverson. Well, I don't know. Somebody said it just now. So. I don't know. Somebody else.
Okay, shout out to AI. He was average height and given all the mans who weren't like above 6'4", Hope. That's great. We love him.
He was also good looking.
He was great looking. Yeah, and he was good at his craft.
Yeah, let's not push.
Okay, number 3. The question is, Tyrone, have you ever sabotaged your own success? Tea is hot.
Wow.
It's in depth.
Camera's rolling, right? Yeah. No, I'm sure I have. Sabotaged my own success. Yeah, I'm sure I have. I don't think I have, consciously. I've been way too hungry this whole time.
Right.
But I say that and then I follow that by saying I must have because there's so many scripts that I've written that I haven't finished.
And I want to just even pretense while we're asking you this question. I think because, like I said, this man is probably one of the most well-known men in Canadian television. Okay, and seeing where you're at, I'm sure there's other people who are aspiring to get to that level of just accomplishment. Like that's a big deal, and maybe it'd be a little bit more normal because we all have some type of self-sabotage. Maybe like listen, what did Tyrone go through, and he's still here? You know what I mean? That might give somebody out there, some youth that's watching this, that little bit of inspiration. Say like, yeah, you know what? Rocky road, but I'm still here.
Yeah, most definitely. Look, at the end of the day, really it comes down to showing up, And there's been a lot of times where I guess I was more concerned with how things looked versus how they felt. So I'd rather look like I was balling instead of actually getting it together.
You
know
got
what
some
I'm
head
saying?
nods in the crowd. Got some head nods.
Yeah, no, that's 100. Like, listen, at the end of the day, like, I've also held myself back from trying things because I think, oh, like, it's not gonna work. Like, I'm a big black guy with dreads. Like, like I've, actually, okay, you want to hear a joke? Not a joke,
I love
but you want to hear
jokes.
something? So, I've always wanted to be on TV. So I'm literally like, my dream as a kid was to host Rap City.
Wow.
That was my actual dream since I was a kid. Since I was 13 years old, I wanted to host Rap City. I used to put my tape in the VCR and take Master T and all that and watch that. And I remember I was like, okay, a tryout, not get through. And I remember I was saying like, oh, I'm not gonna tattoo below my elbows, and I'm not gonna lock my hair because I don't want to lessen the chances of these people hiring me. Get me?
You get me, bro.
and it's interesting because I tried out for to be a VJ when I was still in college, when I was actually still in the U.S. And then tried out again when I came home. Blah blah blah. Didn't get through. And it wasn't until a good friend of mine started his rap career, and I was like, all right, I'm just gonna go on the road with him then, and like
I know where this is going.
and work and like and play my role in that. And so I just said, okay, well, I guess I can just be me, So I started tattooing and locked my hair and just started being me. And the irony was I was running a blog called oneloveto.com. And that was just me, like, that was like a love letter to the city because I just really loved like the cultural diversity of our city. It had played a role in my life, like a cultural currency almost,
Right.
every time I traveled, like especially in the US. And then it wasn't until then, it was so funny though, because like, I feel like God was trying to show me something. Like, it wasn't until I decided to just be myself that I felt like I unlocked certain blessings. You get me?
True.
Like I was trying to
True.
put on like what I thought they wanted instead of presenting myself in my truest form. And literally as soon as I started being myself, everything I wanted started to come to me.
I love that for you.
And I always think about that. I always think like, yo, I'm tattooed. I'm 200 and plus pounds, goes and comes, and then like, I'm a big black guy from Jane Street, and I'm on TV. Like, nah, like I
The
didn't think,
biggest television network.
because I didn't want to just do Rap City. Like I wanted to do Rap City. That was like my dream. But I
Right.
also like being where I am right now. That was like, obviously when I got in the building, I was like, no, I want to do that. Like, you know what I mean? Like I want to go on the red carpet. It's like I can do those interviews. Like, you start to dream, right? But anyways, yeah. In terms of self-sabotaging, yeah, I've definitely done that in terms of just holding back who I am. And in recent years, my interviews have gotten way stronger. I've gotten way better at what I do as I become a better version of myself. So back to like what I was saying before, as I become better as a man, like as an individual, now I'm having way better conversations. Because yeah, sure, we can write questions and prep for an interview. But at the end of the day, when you're sitting on the couch and you're talking to someone, or you're on the carpet and you're talking to someone, you're still just two people, right? So you have to be able to like operate on a frequency. And so the higher my frequency goes and the more consistent I can operate at that high frequency, because we're gonna fluctuate, that's normal. But like
Sure.
the more I get used to flexing that muscle and operating at a high frequency, that just like automatically I can have a better conversation with someone. I can relate to you on a number of different things because I'm exposed to a number of different things. I'm interested in a range of different things. So no matter what we're talking about, we can go here, we can go there, we can go politics, we can go this, boom, boom, boom. Yeah, I'm here with you. And so I realize I just have to continue to become a better version of myself. Like that is what sort of solves everything.
Right.
I become a better partner. in a relationship, I become a better father, a better son. Like,
Swear.
imagine this. I'm 40 years old. I'm 41 years old. 41 years old. And I'm still working on being a better son. And I just started making that commitment to myself last year.
That's deep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, wait, how? I'm not done? You know, how can I be done? My mom's not done. My mom's love is not done for me. So I have to continue to become a better, even a better son. And like, there's certain things that I started putting putting real attention on all the roles in my life and praying on each of those roles. Because if I play a role, then I have to give you the best of me and not the rest of me. The best of me goes to those hats that I choose to wear. If I choose to wear the hat, then I have to give you the best of me. Otherwise, why am I wearing the hat? If I'm your dad, I'm gonna give you the best of me. I'm not coming, you're not just coming over when I'm tired. You're not just coming over when, do you understand what I'm saying? My daughter has to get the best of me. The things that you might know about me and love about me, or you might know about me and love about me, my daughter has to see that and experience that for herself.
In our real life.
In a real life, in a real time. You get me? And like, so those are the kind of things that like I write down. Like those are the kind of things I embroider in my suits. So there's a constant reminder to myself that like, if I play a role in your life, I'm gonna give you the best of me and not the rest of me. Yeah.
Thank you for that. There's that meme that says, my biggest flex is I show up as me. I post that from time to time, to be honest, because the way you hear me talk on the podcast is how I really talk in a real life. I say in a real life on the podcast as I do in a real life.
Yeah.
And when you are yourself, and you're right, the more and more I grow and I tackle the things that I know that I want to do for myself, I feel more confidence. You can't shake that from me. You know what I'm saying? No matter what anybody think, I'm not clearing nothing up. I feel if I'm confident with myself, you can't shake that. You know what I mean? And I think for me, that's when my self-sabotaging really started to stop. Like that imposter syndrome, like, do I deserve to belong in this space? Well, this is the space. I'm here. You know what I mean? It's kind of like it's it's as you grow, and I love that about you because you're true. Like this is a very important man. Okay, he doesn't have a lot of time on his schedule, and he made time to sit here with me, not just for the Parker conversation, but just to make time for me.
But it's the same thing though. If I say I rate you, I'm your brethren, right?
Yeah.
So that means I'm gonna give you the best of me, not the rest of me.
That's what I'm saying.
Right? So it's not, okay,
you showed up.
No, if I can do it, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it wholeheartedly, or else I'm not gonna do it at all.
And he showed up, y'all.
I have no problem saying, look, I apologize, I can't make it. Because you know what I mean? Like, we have to respect each other's roles and whatever, but at the same time, if I say, yo, I rate you and I respect you and I love what you're doing, then yeah, of course I'm gonna be here.
Give me a hug.
No.
Oh, Rexy's here. Appreciate you. Okay, we spent a lot of time on that question. Che, how are we doing for time? We're good. We're gonna bang. Oh, he taking a sip, boy. On a long day. Been on the road all day. Red Bull will hydrate you. Where's the bottle of rum? Pass it around if you need to. I'm not joking about that. If anyone needs, just put up your hands. One of the Yaldem will pass you a shot if you need.
Let's get a number from this side before we're done.
Yeah.
Time now.
What time is it? 10:12?
Sorry. 10:02.
Okay. Jeremy.
11.
If you had the patience and
Wait, hold on. What's the significance to 11?
Born January 11th, so like I always have a thing with 1, and I don't even speed. I just drive 111.
Okay. I feel like Sam, you picked 6.
That's my birthday. I'm born June 6th, so it's
6. 111. 3. I already guessed. I already knew the significance. Birthday. Yeah. It's just see how funny, like how.
Yeah.
Anyway, go,
You're
11?
like a psychology teacher without even being a psychology teacher.
I love understanding how people think. No, you know what I mean? Like, it's so fascinating. Like that's the kind of shit I nerd out at.
reflects yourself too.
Of course, and you can learn too, right?
After this question, there's a question relating to that I knew that I absolutely wanted to ask you. Okay, so that was the question, first of all. What number was it again, Germs?
11.
11. If you had the patience and opportunity, what would you ideally want to teach a family member about life?
Oh, for me, I thought you were asking. If I had the patience and the what?
Opportunity. What would you ideally want to teach a family member about life?
If I had the patience of, honestly, what do I want to teach a family about life?
How
Okay,
you know how I have a brilliant idea. I'm gonna tie the two into each other because it's very similar. As soon as I heard this question, there's another question, and this is one of the questions I knew I needed to ask you, me personally.
Okay.
Okay, if you could not fail, Tyrone, what would be the ideal next move in your career? If you could not fail,
If I could not fail.
not fail, it's yours. What are you doing next in your career?
Oh,
Let me find out he wants to be a soca artist. Let me find out.
honestly, I actually think I am a soca artist. Like in my head, I'm a soca artist, to be honest. I think I'd be a sick soca artist. But no, honestly, it's what I really, really want, is I want to make films. I want to make meaningful, impactful, unforgettable film. Like, I want to make good TV and film. I don't have to be in front of the camera. I can, but it's the writing, it's taking from moments like these, the little nuggets that we can share. We can sit here with 25 people, but if I create a film that has some strong content and some strong messaging, some very deliberate and intentional content and messaging, and you put that out in a movie, then I feel like it can make a bigger impact. There's just certain things in life that I want to share that I think are just so valuable. So.
You will.
Yeah, so
Can
like,
we affirm that? Remember, power
hey,
of
put that
words.
energy, like, pray, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the goal for me.
You will do it.
No, I'm gonna do it. I'm
Yeah.
just being humble.
Okay.
No,
well,
I'm
as
just
your
saying, like,
friend.
that's what I want to do. So long as, like, that is, if that's Jah works, then, oh, man. Yeah, that's what I'll spend the rest of my life doing that, until it's time to just kick up my foot on a beach daily and, you know what I mean? And go on easy, yeah. Until then, no.
Who said go on
What?
easy?
Until then, it's like, come on, are you kidding me? I want to make film. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna bud the line here.
Go for it.
I know we're on timing. I just there's one other question that I absolutely need to ask you.
Okay.
Where was it? Honestly, my eyes just think. Okay. Number 71. And remember, the whole purpose of this in-depth series is that you might see Tyrone on TV and you see him for what he does, but if you know him, if you see him on road and you're just like, I know that about you, that's a great way to connect, okay? So Tyrone, what is something that most of your friends know about you that we might not know?
Too sensitive. I'm so sensitive. I'm so sensitive. So sensitive. I mean, I'm a big, tough, hard-backed man. Like, that's not what we're talking about. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, no man can put his hand in my face. I'll box you, but it's not about that. Like, I'm a very sensitive person.
What's your sign?
I'm a Gemini. I don't really believe in that, though, because
Look
big
at
up the Gemini same way. Yeah.
look at all the Geminis come out.
All Geminis in the house, big up yourself. No, June 6th. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, no, I'm super sensitive. You said you named something that my closest friends would know, but not the general public
The
would
general
know.
public. What is Tyrone T-Rex Edwards? What is something that we don't know about you?
Yeah, I'm very sensitive. I am
Fair.
very sensitive. Sensitive in a way where, like, obviously that allows me to be, on one hand, it allows me to be considerate and, like, compassionate and all the nice adjectives that I can find. But then on the other end,
It
can
allows you to be
also
like a Gemini.
sort of like, toe the line of being like jealous and, and petty wop.
Petty
And
wop.
yeah, listen, I live with like my heart on my sleeve. I love wholeheartedly. And one of my closest friends told me, listen, I don't know anybody that has a heart like yours, but what that also means is you are going to continue to get hurt if you expect that same degree of love in return. A lot of people I just don't have the capacity to do so. And so coming to terms with that and understanding who I am. And so I'll end by saying this. There's like this theory that I came up with in one of those examples where someone really let me down. Somebody I checked for, and bro, I had this huge, like this guy, this was my guy. Like I had his back. You know what I mean? Like, anyway, man dissed me for 10 racks. Like, are you dumb? Anyways, so
How did you know I was from Toronto?
But anyways, it wasn't even about the money. It was more so like, yo, you would actually diss? Like I actually, I love you, bro. Like I checked for you, But really it comes down to this. Through a number of different experiences, this is something that I've learned. In life, there's not a person in here that hasn't been through something, hasn't been through 10 things that hasn't hurt them and disappointed them and disgusted them and could harden them. Because we've all been through our fair share. No one is exempt. No one is exempt, right? So we've all been through enough things that can hurt us, damage us, affect us long term. And so what I realized was that what I won't allow to happen, or what I'll work towards not happening, or what I won't allow to happen is I won't allow those negative experiences to change who I am at my core and to harden me. So a lot of that tough stuff is hurt. And so, again, for me, I think, and it might sound weird, but I'm gonna say it, my goal is to remain as close to my natural state and as soft as I could possibly be. Because I know that if I'm still soft and if I'm still sensitive and I'm still compassionate, that means whatever I've gone through, and like I said, we all go through things, whatever I've gone through, I've taken the time to actually heal from it. And it's not affecting me long term. So it comes, I deal, I heal, and I'll keep on moving. The more you put things, like you kind of sweep things under the rug, put them in the back of the closet, whatever it is, and you don't deal with that hurt, the tougher you are, the more hardened you become, and the further you get away from your actual natural state. And so for me, my commitment is to just always just deal with things head on, even if it feels like a lot. If it comes too heavy, you give it to God. I mean, that's a cheat code. Why not use it? You know what I mean? If it gets too heavy, you give it to God. And that's it.
Amen.
That's it.
Amen to that. Are you guys on the other half, we're tight. We gotta wrap it up.
One more if you want, but we can wrap up.
Okay, so we have one more, but there's really two more. Where's the juju? Give me.
Yo.
I know.
I don't even know why you bother asking her this.
Is it one of the things I'm trying
Just
to work
go.
on?
You can keep the answer short, sure. Just for camera purposes.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is kind of like a bonus question. I asked our last guest, Looney, this is the same thing. Now that you've shared so much with us, how do you think people are looking at you? And that's a fair.
No, it's not that I don't care. I mean, I think that in life we always attach to honesty, right? At the end of the day, you can watch a video on your phone, you can watch something on the TV, and within 2 seconds, we already decided if we believe it or not. So that's that filter. We're able to tell sense from nonsense, you know? So if I feel like I've always, hey, look, this is me. This is these are my collection of thoughts. This is what I'm talking to you right now. I'm doing what Crystal told me to do. I'm talking from my heart. So at the end of the day, I'm not even second guessing what you're thinking of me. I'm thinking, I hope you enjoyed my offering, and that's it.
I did.
Like I'm not.
Did y'all enjoy his offering?
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and this is the last one. Okay, this is
Who believes it's the last one?
actually she requested for number 5, and number 5 has already been asked, so we can't do that. Shared embarrassment brings people together. This is about to be. Act out a scene from one of your favorite movies. And scene.
Wait, what? This couch is so comfy. So
Shared embarrassment. Okay, I'll do it first.
okay, yeah.
And then you can do it. I'm
Okay.
gonna act out a scene from one of my favorite movies.
Okay.
Okay? Excuse me. The Grinch. Yeah, you got it. You knew. Who knew that? Who knew that in the back? You knew that? That's one of my favorite movies of all time, The Grinch. Okay?
So I see I won't be casting you for any of my movies.
Don't be bright. Don't be bright.
What? I act out a thing from one of my favorite movies. Why one of my favorite movies? I don't know, man. I can't even think of the movie.
It's gonna be
right now.
Sanka, you dead?
Oh, damn. That's racist. Wow. Yeah.
The Jamaicans are really showing out today.
Oh. Okay. Here we go. And then. Okay,
I'm gonna judge him to let him know if he's gonna be on my network.
I don't know if you guys are gonna notice one, but. What? Usual suspects. How you so sick? So like.
When he starts walking.
At the end. I guess because I'm like 1 week out of my cast, so I put myself anything.
This is because Peta was his partner in the introduction, an icebreaker.
No.
Peta, Gay, and Rex were partners. They spoke about it. It's fine. That's fine. But we appreciate your shared embarrassment. And so, Tyrone, this is what the Parker Conversation in Depth with Creators is about. Like, someone is going to watch this episode. Everyone in this room actually who shared this moment has just gotten to know your acting skills are level 5 out of 10 for right now. You know, learn a little bit more about you. And I'm just appreciative that I've said this to you like 3 times now, but I'm appreciative that you took the time to spend with us to share a little bit more about you. You might see him on eTalk Canada. You have a restaurant, you do a bunch of things, you're in the community, you might see him on MCs and big DJ stages and traveling all over the world. But today that we found out that you're very emotional, and I love that. I'm just glad to have you a part of it. So this is what the In Depth with Creators series is about. From One Love TO to us, much love to you. Yeah. More success to you, to everyone in the room. Thank you for being a part of this. This is how the evening goes, and we're going to have more of these events and things. So if you weren't here tonight, don't worry. There's more opportunity for you to be here. Cheers to everyone. More life. You have any last final regards you want to say?
Well, look, I want to big up my sister because at the end of the day, you're creating a space, right? Mm-hmm. You're creating a space, and I've said this many times, so I guess I'll end by saying this. Like, it's important that you contribute a type of energy to a space that you want to receive. True. Right? Like that puts like the ownership on you, and it can also drive what that space looks and feels like. So for you to create this space, have your family, your friends that have also become family, and then invite us all into this loving, safe space. I acknowledge that, and I appreciate it, and I just want to big you up because what you're doing is important. Mm-hmm. And just keep killing it. More of this. Never doubt yourself.
Never. That's
Bet.